Hello, it's Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with another video tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how I made this. This is something I am copying, a casing from a lady on Pinterest and YouTube. I will put her name in the, up here on the screen because I can't remember it right now. But anyway, this is a journaling pen, a traveling journaling pen clip. Okay, I have it just on an envelope here. But this is so that you can take your journaling pen everywhere you want to go. You see, it's got a little elastic to hold your pen and a paper clip in the back. And you can decorate it any way you want to in the front. But if you do a lot of journaling and you want a pen everywhere and you got your favorite pen, you can take your pen anywhere. Isn't that cute? And I thought I would try to do it with some Stampin' Up products. So let's get started. What you're going to need is a piece of cardstock, and this is like a good scrap if you got scraps in cardstock and designer series paper, because it uses so little of both. So I'm going to bring out my new Stampin' Trimmer, my Stampin' Up trimmer, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut a piece of cardstock that is 2.5 inches by 5 inches. Okay, so let's bring this up to the 5-inch mark right here. And you're going to use your blade. And like I said, this is just from scrap. And we'll take that out. And then you're going to score this at 2.5 inches. So, like the other trimmer that we have both a cutting blade and a scoring blade. And what I really like about this scoring blade is it leaves a really nice fine score. I don't know if you can see that or not. The score line is really fine and straight, and it looks so pretty. Okay, it's not real big and bulky. So this is it. This is the new trimmer, and to open it, to make it wider, you just have to pull this right here. So you can cut up to 17 inches on here. Isn't that great? And the blade is just fabulous. I'm not going to put this away just yet, because what I need to do is I need to make a slit in the middle to hold my elastic. Now my elastic piece needs to measure 3 3/4 inches long. Now this elastic is 1/2 inch elastic, okay? And it comes in different colors. I think I've only been able to find it in black and in white. But you want to cut it 3 3/4 inches. You could probably get away with 3 inches, but I like 3 3/4 inches. That seems to work best for me. And I'm just going to cut it right there with my paper snips. Okay, let's put this away for now. All right, now what I need to do, I'm just going to put this away for just a second. I'll bring it back out. And let me bring in my silicone craft sheet. You see the score line here, and you want to fold this in half, or you don't really have to fold it in half just yet, but you want to place this right in the middle, because you're going to make some tick marks with your take your pick tool, and you want to make them right on the score line, about 1/8 inch on either side. So like in between here would probably be, let me see, let me measure. It's probably going to be about 3/4 inch. And that's where you're going to make your slit line. Now you can do this with an X-Acto knife, but I'm going to bring in my my new trimmer. Okay, and I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to make sure that that score line is right in line with this cutting groove here. And I'm going to bring my trimmer blade right down in the center of, in between those two, and I'm just going to go up and down to see where I'm at. Make sure that I'm cutting just to those points, and I'm lifting it up and down because I want to make sure I don't go too far beyond. And I've got it right in the center here. If you see that, see, I have my slit and it's perfect. I love this thing. This blade is absolutely wonderful. It's nice and sharp, not just because it's new, but it's really big. It's got a different design on it from the old blade on here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my elastic and I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to put my elastic from the underside. I'm just going to stick it through that hole like this. Okay, there it is. And now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure. Let's see, I think I'll probably need about close to 3/4 of an inch for my journaling pen. Where's my journaling pen? Here it is, here. For my journaling pen, I need about 3/4 of an inch. But you don't have to have that much. If your journaling pen is smaller, just make it a little bit tighter, because you do want to make sure that it hangs on and it doesn't fall out. See, now that's a little too loose. So I'm going to just shorten that a little bit. And you keep testing it to make sure that your pen is not going to fall out, and it's not going to fall out. Okay, so that's the measurement right there. Now, how do you hold that in there to make sure that it stays in there and stays put? Well, there's several different ways that you can do that. If you have a sewing machine, and I do, you can take it to your sewing machine and stitch it right here. But what I found when you do that is that you're actually weakening this joint right here. You can use some really strong glue to glue this. You'd have to glue both in between and on the bottom, but glue doesn't hold as strong as you would think it would, unless you're using crazy glue, but then it leaves a big lump. The best way for me to hold this in there is to use a heavy-duty staple. And I've got my heavy-duty stapler here. Now, if you know somebody who has a heavy-duty staple, just say, I need a staple, I need to borrow a staple. Just one. And the staples that I have in here measure 3/8 of an inch. This is my Stanley Boss Stitch stapler. I've had this for years, and that's what it's going to do. Now, this is going to be the front side. It's going to staple, and it's perfect for this elastic, and I know it's going to stay put. Okay, and like I said, you can use hot glue if you want to, and just try to spread that hot glue so that it doesn't leave such a big bump on the back here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do before I put my clip in there, and I've got to get me a paper clip. Hold on. I've got these paper clips that I got at the Dollar General store, I believe. And I'm going to use the orange one in here like I did before. And that's going to fit in here. But before I do that, I'm going to put some tear and tape on 3 sides here so that it's not going to be so hard to do this. I'm going to do it right now, because otherwise if I put the clip in there first, it's going to be hard for me to put the tear and tape on. So let's do that. And I have my little square somewhere because I just used it. Here it is. Okay, there. And right here, and you want to put it right on the edge, okay? And right next to that score line in the middle, just like that. Okay, now I am ready to put my paper clip in. And you're going to do that from the outside here. And you're going to stick the small part of your paper clip inside next to the elastic, and make sure that it's right in the center. And now you'll open it up and take your tear and tape, and you want to put a couple of strips of tear and tape right across that little clip on the inside. Okay, just like that, so that it stays put. Now, like I say, if you have hot glue, you can use your hot glue. And now I'm going to take all the tape, the backer paper off the tear and tape. And before you actually tape it down, just make sure that there's no tape sticking off the edges of this. Okay, And once you've got all that edge cleaned up, make sure there's nothing hanging over. You want to match up the edges of your two pieces of paper and seal it. Now, if you have a sewing machine, you can take it and put some stitches on here. Just make it pretty, as pretty as you like. But for the most part, I found that just the tear and tape will hold it together. And this is the way I'm going to decorate it. I'm going to use some Mossy Meadow for the background, and I'm going to use the layering stitched framelits. I'm going to use the second to the largest for that. Let's go do that, and we'll take that through the die cutting machine. Okay, and we're going to put that on there, but we're going to use some dimensionals, and we're going to put dimensionals on the edges. Let's put them just along the edge, and I think I'll probably use one on every corner and one in the middles, on the middles of the edges. Okay, so that means you're going to be using up 8 dimensionals. Not too bad. I love these little dimensionals. Okay, there we go. And we're going to set that down here. Let me take all of the backer paper off the dimensionals. Okay, now we're going to put this right in the center. You want to make sure that it's on the part where the staple is. And let's see. Let me do this. I need to tilt it so I can see that it's right in the center here. Very good. Oh, a little bit over. Oh, that's good right there. Okay, so I've got that part done. And now I'm going to take the scalloped layering square. It's going to be this one here. I'm not sure what number it is, but let's count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 6 to the largest, or let's go from the smallest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th to the smallest. Okay, but it's this one here. And you can tell because it's going to layer perfectly over that Mossy Meadow square that you cut. Okay, so we're going to take some designer series paper, and I'm going to use the same, and I'm just going to put it right here. I think, yeah, I'll put it right here so that there's a little flower showing. Okay, and I'm taking that to the big shot, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I have a cute little scallop that I can layer that with, and I'm just going to use some snail adhesive for that. You can use some liquid adhesive if you want, and I'm going to just try to place that right in the center. Make sure I've got even border on all sides, right there. Okay, and now you can use any kind of embellishments that you want. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take another embellishment from the Magnolia Lane cork embellishments, and I think I want this little Magnolia flower, and I think I'll put this right here on the corner like that. Or where should I put this? Maybe I'll put it right there. Yeah, I think I'll put it right there. And I'm just going to use some snail adhesive to hold it in there. And we'll stick it right there. Okay. And to give it a little bling, I'm going to use some of these petal pink rhinestone gems. Let's see. I want one of these diamond shaped ones here. And I'll put that right in the center here of that cork embellishment. There. Okay. And let's see, what should we use for the sides? Well, you know what? Let's use some more of these little diamond. We'll put a diamond on every corner. Do it a little different than I did the other one. Now we've got a little bit of bling to it. Isn't that cute? And so now let's put our journaling pen in here. And we're going to clip it. Let's pretend this is a journal. a journaling book, and now I can take it anywhere I want to go. And like I said, you can decorate this any way you want to. So I hope that I've taught you something. Like I say, I'm completely copying the idea from a lady on YouTube and Pinterest. Here we go. And I hope that you try this, because it's a really good way to use up your scraps. And it's just a cute little idea for people who like to do journaling. It would make a nice little gift for people that do journaling. They do diaries, they write down lists and everything. It's just so cute. I love this idea. So once again, I am Jeanette with G Amazing Paper Crafts. All of the tools and supplies that I used will be listed in the description of this video. So you make it a great day. Bye-bye.